Believe. Hi there, you're live on RT International. Thank you for being with us. Nice to see you. Why do you think the sanctions against Russia...
How are you doing?
Hi there, I'm fine. I hope you are too. Why do you think the sanctions against Russia should be lifted, sir?
Let's say the sanctions started in July 2014, and I understand since the Europeans, the French, are going to fight together with the Russians, it would be logical that it should be lifted, because when you fight against the terrorists, let's say Daesh, Islamic States, in Iraq and in Syria, and next it will be Libya, it is logical to ask them to be lifted. So basically, I understand by the 31st of January, during the European Council, that should be lifted.
But I wonder what is going to happen. We still don't quite know what's going to happen. But we heard a leak yesterday from within the Council that, according to a leak, not official, I must stress, that the sanctions would be extended for a further 6 months. Now, there may be nothing to that. It maybe won't go that way. But if that did happen, would it be bad news for the EU and for Europe as well?
Actually, I will stress. That's right. I try to write many articles on the press to ask them to be lifted, because, well, again, when you're fighting against Daesh, you have to be logical. Because if you if you fight with the Russians, you have to be fair to them. And honestly speaking, when you impose, let's say, sanctions. Against the Russians, let's say the French farmers, the European farmers, they are in jeopardy. Why? Let's say since July 2014, the sanctions were imposed, but the farmers suffered. The trade between Europe and Russia decreased from 20%. Why? The U.S. The trade with the U.S. and Russia has increased of 70%. So I don't think it is fair.
Just a bit more about that leak. Apparently, this leak said that the EU was unanimous about extending the sanctions for another 6 months. But as I say, that actual formal decision hasn't been made yet. But I wonder if it's a taste of what is to come. Manuel Valls, the French Prime Minister, though, is among one of the many voices, including yours, saying that these sanctions shouldn't continue. Let's listen to the French Prime Minister for a second, sir, and I'll come straight back to you.
It's high time to lift the sanctions against Russia if we intend to fight ISIL effectively together with Russia. Can we fight side by side with the Russians and at the same time impose sanctions on them? The answer is no.
Well, exactly. He's saying the same thing as you, sir. But, OK, you haven't got a crystal ball. Where do you think this is going to go? Do you think those sanctions will be renewed for another 6 months against Russia?
Honestly, I don't think so. Because actually, let's say Daesh is close to Libya, is in Libya right now near the region of Sirtis. So basically, I understand that the Russians expected also to fight in Libya, as the Prime Minister of Libya expected it. So basically, we have to be logical. If we fight against, I agree with my Prime Minister, if we fight against Daesh, we need to be fair with the Russians.
Well, thank you very much. A lot of people would say that would be common sense, and it'll be music to a lot of people's ears. Thank you for being on the programme, Sir World Bank consultant Olivier. Thank you for being with us too. It's come out to 29.